Hello everyone and welcome to Knife Review 3000. Today we've got the Gerber Hinderer CLS or Combat Lifesaver knife. Comes in at about 60 bucks. Has a 440 blade, about 3.5 inches, half serrated, obviously, kind of harpoon style blade there. Has liner lock with an interesting method of unlocking it. Has a little button up here that you pull back and the liner comes up. I don't think I've ever seen that on another knife, so kind of innovative. I like it because you can keep your hand out of the way while you're closing it. So that's nice. Has a seatbelt cutter here. This is geared kind of towards a EMT, first responder type people. So seatbelt cutter there. It's a little odd that they went with the harpoon style blade for this type of person carrying it, because this is not a good blade for getting clothes off. Very pointy, not great. You're gonna end up stabbing people if you're trying to get clothes off with that. And this is not good for clothes really at all. Fabric tends to just bunch up in there. It doesn't really cut anything. Unless you can get like jeans or something at the top, cut a little hole and then just rip down some jeans or something like that, then maybe, but not great for that. If I've got a really old Spyderco Rescue here that is geared towards that, has no tip on it really at all. You can get it under clothes, and then the serrations you pull up and just rip the clothes off. So that's more kind of EMT style there. Or if you're you can get a pair of kind of EDC scissors. There's more and more coming out of those every day that are really good at that. But back to the Hinderer here. So you've got the seatbelt cutter or cord cutter there. You've got a glass breaker. We've got a lanyard loop, and then on the back you've got an oxygen tank wrench there. My only concern with that is this is glass-filled nylon for the scales. So if you're gonna wrench on an oxygen tank and don't have it in all the way where it's actually hitting the liners, the metal liners, you're just going to crack that nylon, that glass-filled nylon liner. So probably not the best way, but I guess in a pinch it would work. And if you're careful to get that, that nub sticking out of the top of a oxygen tank, get it all the way in there and make sure it's hitting those liners there. As you can see, the liner starts fairly far down there. It's a fairly skinny liner, so you're going to want to hit that. And pocket clip. I think it is a sorry about that. One position pocket clip. So, and very beefy, thick, kind of ugly thing with Gerber's name on it. Not my style, but it gets the job done. I got a hole there for some reason. Not sure that's what that's about, but so let's delve in a little bit more here. This thumb stud, not a big fan of the thumb stud. You can use the top and get it open, but then it's a little awkward getting it up. Or out, I guess. You can do it, but if you're hurrying trying to get this out, it could be a little awkward. and then the other option is trying to get down and push it from the side. And my only issue with that is this angle here. It's 90 degrees, and if you're pushing on the side there, it kind of hurts, honestly. As I work this more, it's getting easier to open, but I've opened and closed this thing probably a couple hundred times easy, and at the beginning it really hurt. You had to really push to get that open, and it's getting easier now, but it's still not comfortable pushing on the side of that, because it's just kind of a sharp angle, and just not particularly comfortable. So if you're getting this and you're going to be using it a lot, I would definitely suggest opening and closing it a lot, just so in a controlled environment, and so when you really need it, you can get it open fairly easy. I'm just having to put a lot of pressure down to open it from the top, where it's kind of grippy there. You can see the little nubs. Once you have it open, though, it's fairly comfortable. It's a good size. Fills the hand well. You've got some little notches here to help with the grip. You've got the contouring here really does fit a hand well. That's my size. If you had much bigger hands or gloved hands, you might have an issue, just because my hands are fairly small to medium hands. So if you had real beefy hands, you might have some issues there. There's not really any hot spots. The everything's kind of rounded. The pocket clip's it's flat enough that it doesn't gouge your palm. So it's fairly comfortable. Yeah, it's for a rescue knife. I obviously, here we go, had an issue with the blade, just awfully pointy for a rescue knife. They kind of market it towards firefighters, first responders, EMTs. I'm not sure what the whole combat lifesaver is. I guess for military use, I don't know. You're going to be cutting even more layers off than you would normally. Out just in normal civilian first responder. So having that really sharp tip versus something like that. I don't know. Not quite sure what the thinking is there, but if you're not a first responder, if you're not cutting clothes off a lot, this might be a good choice for you. You do have like a cord cutter, be good for camping, fishing, whatever. You got your glass breaker just in case you're going fishing and run into a river and got to get out. I do like the closing mechanism. I've never really seen it before. It's hard to get a good view of that, but when you pull that back, the liner goes up and gets out of your way. So pretty easy one hand opening and closing. So I do like that. So depending on what you're using it for, $60 isn't too bad. It's basically a multi-tool if you happen to cut cord and open oxygen tanks occasionally. It is kind of heavy. It's 5.8 ounces, which is a little bit over kind of the average for a 3.5 inch blade. But it's got these little extra bits here, and it's got this metal back strap there. So it's a little heavy, but not too bad at 5.8 ounces, but you may notice it a little bit. So yeah, that's the Gerber Hinderer CLS, Combat Lifesaver. If you have any questions about that, you can leave them below. If you haven't subscribed, please do. That would definitely help me keep this channel going. And yeah, y'all have a good day. Thanks.